Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we have a special story for you, perfect for practicing your English listening skills. It's a beautiful tale about a tiny creature and a big, delicious miracle. Let's get started. The story is called Bella the Bee and the Secret of the Apple Tree. Once upon a time, in a big, green meadow filled with sunshine, lived a little honeybee named Bella. Bella was a very busy bee. Every morning, as the sun peeked over the hills, she would stretch her tiny wings, wiggle her fuzzy antennae, and get ready for a big day of work. Her job was very important, though she didn't know just how important it was. One bright spring morning, Bella's mother, the queen bee, called all the young bees together. "Today is a special day," she buzzed softly. "The apple trees in the orchard are in full bloom. They are calling for us. Your mission is to collect the sweet nectar from their flowers." Bella was so excited. She had heard stories about the apple orchard. The older bees said it was a magical place, a sea of pink and white flowers that smelled like honey and sunshine mixed together. She zoomed out of the hive, her little wings beating so fast they made a happy bee-zee-zee-zee sound. She flew over rolling green hills and a sparkling blue stream, following the sweet scent that drifted on the gentle breeze. And then she saw it. The orchard! It was even more beautiful than she had imagined. Hundreds of apple trees stood in neat rows, their branches covered in delicate blossoms. The petals of the flowers looked like tiny pink and white handkerchiefs, waving hello to her in the wind. "Hello, beautiful flowers!" Bella buzzed happily. She chose the biggest, prettiest blossom she could find and landed gently on its soft petals. Inside the flower, she saw what she was looking for, a tiny pool of sweet, sugary liquid. This was the nectar. As she drank the delicious nectar, something strange happened. A fine, yellow powder, as soft as dust, brushed all over her fuzzy body. "Oh my!" she giggled, looking at her legs covered in the yellow dust. "I'm getting all messy!" This yellow dust was called pollen. After she had her fill from the first flower, she flew to another one. As she landed, some of the yellow pollen from her body rubbed off onto this new flower. She didn't notice it, of course. She was too busy sipping more sweet nectar. She went from flower to flower, from branch to branch, all day long. Each time she visited a flower, she left a little bit of the magical yellow dust behind. She was like a tiny delivery worker, carrying a special package from one flower to another. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Bella flew back to the hive, her tummy full of nectar and her body still covered in a light dusting of pollen. She felt tired but very happy. She had done a good job. Days turned into weeks. Bella and her bee friends visited the apple orchard every single day. They danced among the blossoms, collecting nectar and spreading the golden pollen without even knowing it. Slowly, a wonderful change began to happen in the orchard. One day, Bella noticed that the beautiful flower petals were starting to fall. They floated down to the ground like gentle snow. "Oh no," she thought. "The beautiful flowers are gone." She felt a little sad. Where the flowers once were, a tiny green nub started to grow. Bella was curious. What was this little green ball? She kept visiting the orchard, not for nectar anymore, but to watch the mystery unfold. The little green nubs grew bigger and bigger. The sun warmed them, and the rain washed them clean. Soon, they were not so little anymore. They started to turn from green to a lovely shade of red, just like a sunset. Bella flew closer to one of the branches. She saw a round, shiny, red fruit hanging where a flower used to be. It smelled sweet and fresh. It was an apple. She looked around the orchard in amazement. The trees were no longer full of flowers, but were now heavy with hundreds of bright, juicy apples. It was then that Bella understood. It wasn't just magic. It was her and all her bee friends. When she carried the yellow pollen from one flower to another, she had given the flower a secret message. That message told the flower it was time to stop being a flower and start growing into a fruit. This special job had a name: pollination. Without her and her friends visiting every single blossom, there would be no apples. They hadn't just been collecting food for themselves. They had been helping the trees create something wonderful for everyone. Autumn arrived, and the air grew crisp and cool. A family came to the orchard with big baskets. A little girl with bright, happy eyes picked a shiny red apple from a branch Bella had visited many times. The girl took a big bite. "This is the sweetest apple ever," she said with a smile. From a nearby branch, Bella watched. Her little bee heart swelled with pride. She wasn't just Bella, the little honeybee who collected nectar. She was Bella, the apple maker. She had helped bring this delicious fruit into the world. From that day on, whenever Bella flew into a field of flowers, she buzzed with a new sense of purpose. She knew that every flower she visited, every grain of pollen she carried, was part of a beautiful cycle. She was a small bee, but she was doing a very big job, helping to make the world a little bit sweeter, one apple at a time. And as she danced from flower to flower, the world seemed to buzz right back at her. A quiet thank you for her very important work. And that's the story of Bella the bee. It's a simple reminder of how even the smallest creatures play a huge part in the world around us. Next time you see a bee buzzing around a flower, you can smile and thank it for all the delicious fruits we get to enjoy. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you enjoyed this story and that it helped you with your English practice. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.